What is up, guys? This is JD Rich coming back at you with another One Piece video. Now, today we're going to discuss the Rocks Traitor and also possible what we should probably or maybe can expect from the upcoming chapter in 1158. Now, 1157 was a banger, you know what I'm saying, finding out the real treasure of Hachinosu, you know, being Shaku Yaku, you know, as Shaki, Rayleigh's wife, man. Like, Shaki's stock just, it went up for me just so significantly. Not only just her being the treasure of Ashinoku, but also her being the vice captain of the Kuja Pirates, then becoming the captain right after Gloriosa left. Now, as far as the next chapter upcoming, 1158, what can we expect? You know what I'm saying? That's a big marker, because the more we get deeper into this flashback, like we're getting major curveballs of reveals, hints, story, plot points that further tie in the past with the future and present and whatnot, man. But also, I just got a couple of predictions that I'm gonna be going off of. You know, I've been hearing some speculation in the community about the Rocks Traitor. Now, my personal opinion, I thought the Rocks Traitor was always Whitebeard, but not in the way that you guys think. Not as in like a traitor, as in when I suspect Whitebeard to be the Rocks Traitor, I'm saying it more so along the lines of not really a treacherous act, but more so Whitebeard changing sides, because after all, they're not really loyal to one another anyway. However, they all had to honor the fact that they were beaten by Zebek in a Davy back fight. Now, in chapter 957, if you guys remember, in Sengoku's Afro, there was a semicircle battle going on with Whitebeard, Roger, Garp, Kaido, Big Mom, and Zebek, you know? If you actually look at Sengoku's Afro and you see that panel, man, a lot of people don't realize, but Whitebeard is not attacking Garp or Roger. He's actually charging up his weapon in the sense of a battle cry, as if he's charging in. Because I personally believe that it was Garp. Like, I think that everybody got a piece of everybody on God Valley, you know what I'm saying? It was like a major battle royal. But at the same time, I believe that it was Garp and Roger who ultimately teamed up against Zebek, while Whitebeard took on both Big Mom and Kaido at the same time. I'm just speculating that. But like that moment in 957, that told me like that's a part of the Rocks Traitor, as far as like in relation to it. It's not that Whitebeard was a traitor, it's just that Whitebeard, I believe he ultimately had a change of heart and switched sides because he saw Zebek's ambition as a threat to that of his own dream, which was to have a pirate family. But also, there could have been more to it there could have been more to it, because remember, when we get into the most recent chapters of the God Valley flashback and we see the Rocks pirates like closing in on the island, Whitebeard is mentioning that Rocks might forget what we're actually here for. So that tells me that, like, along with going to get Shaki back, there was also something else in mind that maybe sprung up in Rocks' thoughts and intentions. And this could have been the final push that caused Whitebeard to change side. Like, hey, we're here to get Shaki back. We're not here for all this up. Maybe there was something else there on God Valley that actually piqued the interest of Zebek outside of getting Shaki back. And whatever it was, Rocks is going to selfishly put that above their mission of originally saving Shaki, which may have been his idea, to just forfeit that, like, oh, we'll still get her, but we got to focus on this right now because we have this opportunity right now here. And Whitebeard is going to be like, nah, man, our plan was strictly to come save Shaki. You tripping, you doing too much. Now I'm going to pull my weapon, and then all of a sudden, it's Whitebeard, Roger, and Garp versus Zebek, Charlotte, Lin, and Kaido. I think that it was a battle royal between those factions, but then it ultimately came down to a 3-on-3 matchup between Roger, Garp, and Whitebeard versus Zebek, Big Mom, and Kaido. That is just, oh man, that's a 3-on-3 matchup I would love to see, but we're gonna see it anyway, and it may be in the terms of a free-for-all, then it may turn into a team battle. So it may start off as a free-for-all with, you know, Garp fighting Roger and Whitebeard, and then you got Zebek and them. Everybody's, let's just say everybody is going to be fighting everybody. Then they're going to break off, and it's going to be a 3-on-3 because certain ambitions and ideals are going to clash on this island. It's inevitable. But that's going to happen later on as we get more into what's actually going on. Because I got a feeling that the next chapter, maybe in 2 chapters, we might actually get the God Valley fight. But we're still going to get the events leading up to it. Now, as far as these events leading up to it with the abduction of Shaki, who could have done this? Because it had to be somebody either on the island already or somebody the government sent to the island. And if it was somebody on the island already, what if the government purposely sent them, you know what I'm saying, to infiltrate the crew, rise up amongst the ranks? Because I've been hearing a lot of speculation that it could be old man Kyo, you know what I'm saying, Hitman Kyo, only due to his association of like the X, the marking of the X, because another person we know who's has some type of relation with the marking of X and X's in general is Drake. Diaz Drake. Red flag X Diaz, red flag Diaz X Drake, you know? And this got me thinking. X Drake, he only served under Kaido because he was really undercover trying to keep tabs on Kaido. But also with X Drake being a Marine, this couldn't be the first time a Marine has gone undercover as a pirate and then popped up as a Marine. Because we saw this with what's the guy's name? Coruscant in Law. But Coruscant has no relation with X's or whatever. But Coruscant was a pirate undercover Marine. Could Hitman Kyo be a Marine? And if he is, man, that's got to be something. If he is an undercover Marine, I would love that. I wouldn't even be mad at that, man. Because one, you got this notorious guy who plays the role undercover so well, just infiltrating crews and whatnot. Then you got him turn out to be Marine. Because what if it is Kyo? Like, what if it is Boss Man Kyo, Hitman Kyo, who actually turns out to abduct Shaki and take her to the God Valley place? But why would he abduct Shaki unless it's and not even and it may not even be Kyo, whoever the Rocks trader was. What if Shaki happened to be cleaning up something around the bar, planting flowers or whatever, doing something around the island, and she just happens to hear information of the trader reporting to his higher ups, you know, that may have been Marine officials or world government officials, like, yeah, listen, Rocks plans on doing it into the snail phone. Rocks plans on doing this, so we better da-da-da-da-da. I don't know what day, but I'm gonna be there, da-da-da, you know. And then Shaki may have accidentally overhears this, and we're like, click, oh, you know, originally we were gonna leave you alone, but seeing as though you camped out on this island, you might have some information that could be useful to us involving Rocks. And plus, you're notorious for who you are too, being a Kuja pirate and all. So maybe they figured that taking Shaki was a part of a bigger plan, and also it had to be done only due to her not leaking out the plan of whoever the traitor was. What if Shaki overheard the traitor discussing some things and was gonna tell Zebek, but then probably decided maybe not to tell Zebek and was like, I don't care, just as long as you don't interfere with me in my retirement, I don't care if you're a traitor to Zebek or not. But this traitor may have been like, yeah, I can't take a chance on you not even caring that I'm a traitor, so I'm gonna abduct you anyway, because I'm pretty sure the government would love to sink its teeth into you, your whereabouts, your background, and also any information that you may have that could be useful to us taking down Rocks and taking this island back. Because remember, the government originally wanted that island back. Rocks brokered a deal to take the island and give it to the government, but he just took the island for himself. And I don't blame him. The government, come on, man. However, man, like I said, this Rocks trader, I've been hearing speculation that it could be Hitman Kyo, and I'm on board with that. But what if it isn't? What if it isn't and it turns out to be some other like government affiliated entity or agent or Cypher Pole adjacent in general? We don't know. But it's a good thing to think, it's a good thing that we've been hearing that the traitor is a part of Rocks' crew. Because one, to me, I would look at almost everybody as a traitor outside of maybe Zebek and Whitebeard. Because, like, it seems everybody's got their own, you know, everybody has their own agenda and they're out for themselves. But at the same time, you got to look at the fact that they've been trying to kill each other. You got Shiki throwing bombs on people during the raids while they're supposed to be working together to steal treasure and plunder. And Shiki's thinking about, hey, 3, 4 less shares if we off some of our own, you know what I'm saying? So, man, they're all traitors in a sense, but who really betrayed, like, the crew itself? Like, oh, I'm gonna help take all you misfits down, make a deal with the government, and then get away. Because really, if the traitor is not a government dog, meaning that they're still loyal to their government code, or they're only forced to work under the government, but at the same time they're gonna give up the crew to save their own hide and sail off into the sunset with whatever amount of berries and bribes that they were able to broker from the government, who knows? Now, also, I predict that we may actually see, there's more that we're gonna see in this flashback. Like with Harold, for example. We know that Harold was offered a deal to for Elbaf to become a part of the world government, the part of the nations and whatnot, underneath the flags of the world government. But also it came underneath the condition that Harold kill Rox. I don't believe that Harold is gonna do that. I really don't. As much as Rox tries to come back and recruit Harold time after time after time again, they clearly have developed some sort of rapport with one another, you know, that eventually led to them actually being friends. I think Harold actually regards Zebek as a friend, because for Zebek to regard, the way Zebek regards Harold as a friend, to where he'll beat Kaido up or talking crap about trying to force Harold against his will to do their bidding and join them or whatever, whereas Rox wants Harold to come by his own choice, and he always convinces him to do so by using the government and their corruption towards Harold and spreading lies of his name and his faction and whatnot, and their manipulation of Harold's reputation against Harold. Rox is using that like, yo, man, look at what they're doing to you, man. Like, what do you expect from the government, as we saw in previous chapters? And like, come on now. Like, as Rox has full good reasons for Harold to join his crew, but Harold don't want to get down like that. Harold actually wants to establish just ties and honest, like, bonds with people around the world and other humans under the flags of Elbaf. Like, yo, we have a giant history of savages, but we're not trying to be that way. We are reformed. Elbaf is reformed. We don't have to carry on like it used to. We actually want to bond with humans. We need relationships. We need connections. We need allies. You know, as big as we are, we still need friends. And I love that about Harold, man. I love that. But I don't think he's going to betray Rox. I think that his refusal to do so is what ultimately got him killed. Think about it. He was stabbed in his throne room by his own Kingsguard. And then Loki got there and he killed everybody there. But yet Loki was ultimately blamed for Harold's death. Loki tried to save Harold. Let's just be clear. Loki really did try to save his father. Because despite any differences or any harsh judgment Loki may have had about Harold, you know, Loki still loved his dad, man. He still did. Now, as far as Harold killing Rox, I don't believe that's the case. And if it was the case, that wouldn't make Harold necessarily a traitor, because he's not a part of the Rox crew. They said there's been speculation, and maybe Oda even said this himself. I gotta confirm again. But there is a traitor in the Rox crew. However, it's obviously not Harold because he's not in the crew, but I still don't think that Harold is gonna kill Rox and stab him in the back like that. There's no way that happens. No way. So I do believe that Harold's refusal to kill Rox is what may have ultimately led to his death, because he disobeyed the government. They're like, damn, okay, so Harold won't even kill Rox for us, yet he wants to become an allied country with the government. Forget it. Forget having Elbaf. We'll just take Elbaf, and you know what? We'll take Elbaf and we'll make them an allied country, or if not, we'll just kill Harold and still take over Elbaf without them being an allied country. We'll just get bidding from them, get them to do stuff for us and stuff like that or whatever. Who knows? But I still don't think that's even the case. there, where as far as like Elbaf submitted to the world government, because I don't think that Elbaf is even still a part of the world government even to this day. I don't think Elbaf ever became a part of the nations, you know. Elbaf ever joined the flag. I don't believe they ever joined under the world government. So the government may have had Harold still killed and may have been doing some dirty operating involving Elbaf and around Elbaf, but I don't think the people of Elbaf really submitted to the government like that, especially the giants that are in charge now. But then again, they might have. It might have been Harold. I mean Haruden. But still, I'm speculating here. Now, what else could we expect? Because I don't expect Harold to kill Rox, but I do suspect Harold's refusal is what ultimately led to his death. Because, well, a part of the reason and a part of the aspects that may have also contributed to the death to the death of Harold. That's one of them. The more so could be, the more he refused and rebelled against the government. So they could only do what they could only do what they could as far as manipulating the media, twisting stories, killing other nations who had anything to help, who had anything to do with helping Elbaf in any way. Because we saw with that story they manipulated about Harold attacking a government ship, but Harold was actually saving and defending the people who helped Elbaf during their famine. Now, moving on, man, we may see more of the Roger pirates in this next chapter. I guarantee that. We may see how Roger learns of Shaki's abduction, and we're also gonna see like what led them to going after Shaki. Oh God, Valley. How did they find out? You know, how did the Roger pirates find out about this? But now let me ask you guys this, because I got a feeling if it wasn't the Rox traitor who may have taken Shaki and took her against her will back to God Valley and whatnot, could it have been a God's Knight who snuck on the island and did the same? Who knows? I wouldn't put it past them. But the government is a dirty dog. Now, what else could we possibly expect in this next chapter? We may see more of the Amazons, because with everything happening on God Valley, what if the Kuja pirates pull up? Think about that. Shaki is kidnapped. You think that we're not going to see a reaction from the Kuja pirates? Like, yo, our former empress joined Rock's crew, but then our other former empress and captain got captured by the government. I think that I wouldn't put it past the Kuja if they showed up at God Valley, or if they thought about showing up, ran into Roger, and Roger talked them out of it. Like, nah, you ladies, y'all let us handle that. We'll bring Shaki back to you guys. Who knows? But then again, I don't think the Kuja would strike me as one who would just take orders from Roger to stay out of it when they want to. Like, I can picture the Kuja pirates being in attendance at God Valley. Maybe at the last minute or so, during the aftermath, or during the start of the aftermath, who knows? But I believe the Kuja pirates may be involved. We may see them again in this next chapter. And also, moving forward, man, Garp. I want to see more we may see an interaction with Garp and Harold again. Not again, but, you know, we may actually see another reaction, because Harold said that Garp laughed at him, which means that they've talked before. But in this next chapter, we may see a possible new interaction between Garp and Harold. Harold might talk to Garp about what he has to do as far as killing Zabik from what the world government has told him, because Garp actually wants Elbaf to become a country associated with the world government and allied with the nations of the government in general. Now, what could this interaction between Garp and Harold possibly entail? More details about Rox probably dropped. Garp's like premise and stance as far as being a Marine, and basically why Harold is trying to do what he has to do. And Harold may have Garp's support. I believe that I think he already does, because it's clearly shown that Garp, you know, has no problem with Harold or Giants for real. He actually wants that kind of power to be associated with the Marines, which is actually a good thing, because, you know, that'll just bring more strength for them to have leeway against these pirates out here running amok and really causing terror, the bad pirates. But yeah, man, that's just my predictions for 1158, because we don't know where we could go right now as far as in this flashback goes, because I don't think we're just there yet. I think in this chapter we may actually get a flesh out of who the Rox traitor may be, and maybe more hints, but also we may get reactions from all over the world regarding Shaki's abduction and taken into, world government's celestial custody and slavery. So we're in for a treat, man. This next chapter, we're in for a treat. And also, as far as Keo the Hitman being a Rock's traitor, I'm not against that. I'm not. But what if it's not just him acting alone? What if there's a government agent or agents that are assisting him in this plot? And because we don't know if he's the real Rock's traitor or not. I know for a fact, courtesy of 957, Whitebeard had a change of heart and stood against Rock's and helped fight alongside Roger and Garb. I know that. 957 confirms that. If you read into Sengoku's Afro, that confirms that. Because really, they were here for Shaki, but Rock's changed up the goal at the last minute. And then that might have really set with Whitebeard the wrong way. Hey, you said we were supposed to be here for this. Yet you got us here for that again. You got us damn near risking our lives for you to change up the plan and potentially get us all killed. And even if we don't get all killed, it's still a situation that puts us all in harm's way. So I'm going to go over here with Roger and Garp, and I'm just going to fight against you. I'm trying to think, what else could we see? We may even see, let's see. I hope we see Dragon. Will we see Dragon? Why not, right? But I don't know. Monkey D. Dragon around this time. I hope we see him as either a young Marine or possibly getting started on the quitting the Marines. Who knows, man? There's a lot that we can expect to see from this next chapter, but we gotta wait till it happens, man. So yeah, that's just where my head is at right now, man. There's a lot of ground to cover, and Oda is filling up every step, but he's leaving us wanting more and more and more. You know how Oda does. So who knows where we have to go. This is gonna be a beautiful chapter. I have no doubt about that. But we may get the full reveal of the Rock's traitor, we may not. But if we get just some hints at it, I'll be all the more satisfied. I don't care. I love this story. I love this story, man, just as much as everybody out there in the community, especially if you're a manga reader yourself. I watch the anime as well, but everybody should know the manga is where it's at. That's where the real story begins for any real One Piece fan. It always begins in the manga. But some people begin their story watching anime. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you gotta understand that the manga readers, we're 10, 12 steps ahead of you. It is what it is, man. I'm trying to think, what else could we... Don't know, man. I don't know. Because there's so much we can predict that could happen. Yeah. I guess that's all I got for now, man. But if I could talk... I know there's something else if I could think of. If I could think of one more thing. Oh, Stussy. Stussy also, we know that Stussy works for the government, but it'd be too obvious to obviously paint Stussy as the traitor only because we see her later on working for the government. But then again, she was also a big, what's the guy's name? Vegapunk. She was also Vegapunk's assistant or some spy for Vegapunk or whatever, man. But then again, that was the clone. Oh, that was the clone of Stussy. Damn, so the real Miss Bucking, we don't even know what happened to her yet, man. Vegapunk made a clone of Stussy. Yeah, so this is the real Stussy we have in a flashback, but maybe not until God Valley starts off. Really, we may not even see what happened to her that either caused her to death or anything along those lines for her to later be turned into a clone. Because I would assume that either if she didn't ask to be turned into a clone, maybe she got damaged and Vegapunk was the only one who could fix her, and he turned her into a clone by the damage she taken during a battle or trying to get away from somebody or whatever. But yeah, man, this is phenomenal. I can't wait for this next chapter. I hope you all enjoy the next chapter, because I know I will. Next Thursday, it is going to be on like Donkey Kong. And we just have to wait and see what Oda brings us as far as an adventure. And I'm gonna say this again, man. I don't believe Harold betrayed Rocks. I just believe that him not betraying Rocks is one of the many things that led to him getting killed by the government. They snuffed that man out, and they'll do it to anybody else. Now, what else? Now, was there anything else I'm leaving out? These are my predictions and thoughts. I guess that's all for now. I know this is kind of cringe, man, but like, you know, this is just the way it is. All right, guys, so that's all I got for now. This is JD Rich signing out, you know. Remember, one piece of life is life in one piece. Peace.